Hello, and welcome to ADP, Art Design and Production. My name is Mr Winstanley. I am Director of the faculty. We're just going to have a quick blast around the building and try and relate your project to what you're going to be doing at home. This is the engineering room where you will come and make a variety of projects. If you'd have been able to come, you would have made a key tag. We would have used the marking out tools here to actually follow a drawing to actually design and make something. When we draw or make anything, it's for a client. So we're going to start with a brief. We're going to later design and make a pop-up card for either your parents or an invite for friends. So that will be our brief. We will do some research following the process and then plan out what we're going to make, come up with some ideas and then make it. Ultimately, these are all skills that you're going to use that you can take forward year on year, and if you chose an option of engineering in year 10 and 11, we'll be using the centre lathes, the pillar drill and our marking out tools. Ultimately, we're going to end up, or you will make yourself a wind vane. So this using CAD/CAM, forging, brazing, lathe work and 3D printed work. Okay. So we're now in the woodwork room. In year 7, one of the projects students make is to design and make a shield, going through the process, meeting the client's need to actually recognise and give them an award for something that they've done. So we do some research into shields and then you can make your own. We're using the laser printer and different materials and pine and some strip bending. If you choose the option of construction, one of the projects is to do some electrics. We also do some woodwork joints, making a frame, learning about different jobs, and ultimately at the end we also have another construction project which is to plumb up a sink. In art design production we also study art, where students use a range of media to express themselves, to develop their skills and to communicate their ideas. Ultimately you're using a range of processes, materials, mark making, and then in year 10 and 11 the option of art allows students to develop their skills further in fine art. And of course another part of technology is cooking and food nutrition, and students will often actually have to learn how to make dishes to meet the client's need, for example a gluten-free diet, a vegan diet, or for an athlete which is high in carbohydrates or proteins for after their workout and routines. So we use a range of cooking equipment to produce the food. Likewise, in Key Stage 4 there is a hospitality and catering option where you develop your skills further. So designing technology is all about designing and making products to solve client briefs, with you using your hands and your mind and your artistic skills. You're now going to offer an opportunity to design and make a pop-up card for somebody in your family or a friend. So join me shortly in the next part of the video. Goodbye. So we're going to ask you to have a go at pop-up cards, but for us at home we can just use literally either an old cereal packet, some paper, and we're off really. Other tools, a knife like this, just a kitchen knife, a pen, pencil, some colours will be very useful. You can use felt tips or highlighters and some scissors. If you take a piece of paper, it doesn't have to be A4, it can be anything. Folding, one of the most important things is when you fold, you crease it. You noticed I lined up the edges there and then crease. But when now if you've got nails, then you can use your nail to crease along there, back and forward. But if your nails aren't brilliant, and don't damage your mum and dad's table, possibly get a mat or a piece of wood or another piece of cardboard, you can use a knife. Now this isn't very serrated and sharp because you don't want to be scraping across. You could use the back and near the edge, but if it's rounded like this one, you can just go back and forward, and that will create what's called a hinge. It's kind of like a hinge, but the key thing is not just once, but if you fold it back on itself, then it still wants to spring up a little bit because the paper's fibres need to be creased again. So I'm using my other nail now, really pushing down and creasing that. Even go back over, fold it again, crease it. Can't emphasize this enough, it makes life so much easier. And then actually you could very easily, holding from the top and tearing diagonally, create that. So our first one we're going to have a go at, fold over, fold over, and then we can go like this. Now we're just going to do a simple first one. I'm going to draw a line here. I'm going to go across. If you go too far, then it becomes too big and it plops out the other side. Scissors, cut here, and now depending on where you fold it up, crease again, use your nails if you've got some, if not you can use the back of a knife, but be careful when you use the back of the knife, like I said, you've got some support on your table. Fold it back over and again. And now what happens is we can open that and nothing happens. Well, not yet. Now what we do is you can crease that up there so that when your card opens, this pops up. So if I was to draw some eyes on here, that's wrong. Always good to have a rubber, isn't it? This is a nose. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to draw the nose. Perhaps actually it'd be better if it was a beak. Believe it or not, if I fold that one over, then I could have a beak mouth, couldn't I? I like that. I'm going to try that. So rather than having a mouth, rub that out again. Fold it over as we were before. This time I'm going quite steep. Crease. Fold it back over. You must keep folding these hinges. Fold it back and you just have to grab in there so that it folds the right way. So sometimes you just got to play with it. It doesn't always work first time, so this is what we're learning. And now I'm having fun with this, as you can see. Lots of fun. I folded it in now and it works. So I've got myself a little birdie mouth. So obviously I could colour this in, whatever colour you want. I'm doing this messy. You guys are going to colour nice and neatly, aren't you, and consistent. Okay, but just to give you the idea visually what you're doing, you might want to do a test one and then do a real one. It's quite a good idea to have a go at doing something first time. And now what we can see, what we've made, that needs to be back. That's why I cut that in half. That's perfect size, I think. Card. What am I going to write? If I was doing this properly, which I should do, I'd probably put some guidelines in pencil lightly, then write happy birthday, whoever it's to, mum, and then you can go over it with pen. You can even colour it, add some highlights, detail, and then obviously afterwards get your pencil, or your rubber, sorry, rub out those guidelines and it looks real pro. Then what I'm going to do is stick that to that, so that when we open, so obviously when we stick this, we've got to be careful, not a bad idea, to actually say, this can be stuck, but this is my area where I can glue anywhere here with Pritt stick or any glue. He uses UH glue, which is the Pro League. Glue that onto there, nice and flat, and there is my pop-up card, because that's glued down. I'm going to show you one more. So again, I'm going to do this hopefully. Now if I want to draw a parallel line, where's the other one gone, my pencil? Here to here. I can then cut. This is called a parallel, that one was a V. Ideally these want to line up, so if you wanted to, you could use a ruler or a straight edge and get it lined up, so that you know that you're cutting the same distance in. If I had a ruler here, that would be even better. Possibly should. Now we fold, so we want that to be parallel. Again, this is the important part. Well, I'm going for double nailage now. And now when we open that, I can fold that back so that your pop-up card, so if we wanted to change the layout, it's an invitation card. Again, guidelines, write your message, welcome, will you come to my party or barbecue? And then we can open this up and you can see what happens is it opens. Now if we had another piece of paper, I can draw a shape on here. Not a bad idea to get the idea of size, what's going on. Draw whatever shape you're going to draw. There's a tree, colour it in. Better colouring than me, obviously the bark isn't orange, it's got some apples on it. Cut that out or even stick it on, it's up to you. Careful you don't cut yourself. Scissors, nice and controlled. Easy ways to go from two directions and just pull that off, even to go around the outside so that you're close to your shape, removing all of the bits and bobs, and then go in, and then we can do this, and from this direction clear up your mess as you go in, and so on like this, and then you end up. Now what I can do is I could stick that to there, and I could even stick it so it sticks up high like that. Only thing I've got to be aware of is when it closes, does it stick out? So if I put this too high or make it too big, it's going to stick out the card when you're actually looking. So we don't really want part of the tree stuck out when we're looking, do we? So you don't want that out. If you cut further than halfway, so that's roughly halfway, isn't it? Half. If I cut past there with my fold, and then I fold it past there, what's going to happen to this is when I close it, oh look, it sticks out the side. So it's sticking out of the side of my, and that doesn't look very good. So we want to be careful where. So I've done my paper version. I'm quite happy with what I'm doing with paper. I'm now going to try it on cardboard. So this is going to be obviously a little bit harder. You can get just lightweight card, as in just normal card that's maybe a little bit thicker. He mentions 80 GSM. Now's where we really do need to, either using scissors, I'm just crushing this first because it is so thick. I can use my knife again, push, hold the knife and then push your thumb near the edge and crease out. Make sure you've got something underneath. Do not use a sharp knife, that is not sharp. Turn it round, and now when you fold it, again go back. So you can even use thick card, but you need to really work this hinge. keep working it so that it really is flexible, and then you can draw your design. So I've just got to make sure that's the inside. I don't want to have it on there because I can always cover this or draw on this. This is going to be the back that's going to be hidden. So yeah, that works. I could even do that. I could cut this paper down if I need to, fold that in half. I'm probably being a bit naughty. You guys should get a ruler and do it properly with a ruler. You'll get it much more accurate. I am probably a little bit more used to this than you guys. So I'm going to just do that there to there. I'm checking, looking it's lined up to get my bend point. Score this. Again, use a ruler. I really should get a ruler, shouldn't I? Sorry. A ruler to score where you're doing this. If you score it using the back of the knife, scoring is a way to kind of put a semi-cut in, but not a cut. It's more of a just weakening it. And now what I've got is a really good pop-up card. Colour it in with your colours, stick it to the right size background. Bob's your away. Good luck. Right, bye then.